The 2023 Lancaster Archery Classic rolls on from the Spooky Nook Sports Complex here in Manheim, Pennsylvania, with our shoot-up finals, this time for the Bowhunter class in the largest indoor archery tournament on the East Coast. Hello everyone, welcome to the broadcast booth. Greg White sitting alongside Eli Hughes as we set the stage for an amateur class, Bowhunter, with some different rules from our normal compound open category. Eli, it's been a great weekend here in Pennsylvania. What have you seen?
I've seen a ton of people. Everything has gone great. A lot of shooters. Lots of kids shooting this morning.
That's right, yeah. 2,700 people competing between the Lancaster Archery Classic as well as youth and collegiate that they have going on here, and there's still tons of people shooting right now. It's been spectacular. But in terms of our broadcast and shoot-up finals, let's take a look at what we have on tap for today's schedule. We just got done with Masters Open Pro. We're transitioning right now into Bowhunter, where we have 4 that have qualified for the shoot-up. And then we go to the recurve categories: women's recurve, Olympic recurve, youth male, that's a compound class, and then we're going to roll into our big ones. Men's Open, massive attendance for that one. Women's Open Pro, and then we'll wrap things up with the big money Open Pro category, where we've already seen some massive upsets. Now here's the rule for how we got to where we are. Top 4 qualified. The ranks were tied or broken by 11s. Bottom up format. Number 4 is going to shoot against 3. Whoever wins that goes up against number 2, and whoever wins that goes up for the number 1 spot and the title of Bowhunter champ. Now we do have a 12 ring in play just for the finals. It's a 1.5 centimeter white dot that's hovering down there on the 8-7 ring, so it's a risk reward type of thing. You can only call it once per end, but you can call it 4 times. So that means the total point value would be 136 that are available. We haven't had anyone shoot close to that yet, Eli. Well, that's what we're looking at. So let's go ahead and get the 3rd member of our broadcast team in play as we welcome the Bowhunters into the shoot-up.
All right, next up we have our Bowhunter finals, and we're going to bring out our number 4 seed from Exeter, Maine, Payson Rienhardt. Payson qualified 15th and shot his way to the number 4 seed. Next up, our number 3 seed from Marietta, Ohio, Nate Root. We want to mention here, you're going to see on the low left of our shooting station up there, ABB, America's Best Bowstrings. They are offering $300 contingency for any of the finalists, any of the winners of our divisions shooting ABB strings this weekend. We thank them for their support.
All right, so Eli, we're looking at a little different setup. It's a compound bow for sure, but it's a little different setup than our traditional open category.
Yeah, in this situation, they're not allowed to have a stabilizer that exceeds 12 inches. They also can't use magnifications with their shooting. Is that it?
They can't adjust their sights either.
And once scoring begins, can't adjust their sights.
Yeah, so
which makes it tough.
It does. So what you're not going to see is any clicks if they're dialed in the practice range. This first arrow is important.
Yes. Which is tough because whenever you get in somewhere that's a little bit different, things can tend to shift a little bit. And for them, they're just going to have to aim off.
That's it, aiming off. We're high, low, left or right.
9-10.
Okay, so it looks like both archers have started with 10s. Kind of looked like a 10 to me.
That looked like a 10, yes.
But PJ's got the spotting scope down there. Called it 9-10 line.
11.
It's a good shot.
Great adjustment from Payson.
10.
Now most of these Bowhunter archers, they're going to have a pin set, single pin or multi-pin. They're going to set it for 20 yards. And like you're saying, they can't adjust it before they get here, before that first arrow shot. But once that first arrow shot, they can't touch it.
It's locked in.
Yeah. So all they had was the practice. I mean, all weekend long too, you know. But you know as well as I do, you show up to different lanes and it can be a click or 2 or 4 difference.
It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much.
Good start, guys.
Let's go to PJ.
Our competitors this morning, you're going to see unique pieces of equipment. These guys are both wearing hats, Bowhunter die. is one of our longtime sponsors here of the Bowhunter Division. We'll meet Justin Czar in a bit, but they add to our contingencies, which make this, the Lancaster Archery Classic, one of the events where Bowhunter divisions can earn some of the highest prize money. But first up, Payson, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Welcome to Lancaster Archery Classic Final Stage. Is this your first time up here?
This is my first time in finals.
Okay, have you shot the Classic before?
Yeah, I've shot the Classic 5 times now.
5 times, all in Bowhunter?
Actually, it's my first year in Bowhunter. I've shot other divisions before, but this is first year in Bowhunter.
What made you want to make the switch to Bowhunter?
It looked fun.
It looked fun, all right. Tell us about your gear, Payson. What are you shooting?
I got the Bowtech Reckoning 38, an Excel sight, a Freak Show Rest, an assortment of Conquest stabilizers, Easton Superdrive 25s, and a B3 BG Ghost.
All right, great gear. Do you feel comfortable up there? You got the nerves out?
Not yet, we'll see.
Not yet, all right. So in our Bowhunter division, for folks in here, maximum front stabilizer 12 inches, no lens in their scopes. Those are the major differences.
And for Payson Rienhardt, he's 2-time IBO world champion. So he's no stranger to winning, but it's just different here.
It is.
You're on an elevated platform. You got lights. You got this crowd sitting right here. I mean, it's gnarly.
It's nice to be relaxed out in the woods, but this is much different than that.
Yeah, it is a lot different in the woods. You can listen to the birds chirping to calm you down.
Well, once you're up there, the way that the lights are shining on you, you're not seeing all the people, especially both of these guys being right-handed facing away from the crowd, but even so.
Yeah. One thing you'll notice in a qualification round or even in an elimination match, these archers will come out with their binoculars. Oof, a little bit right there. But they actually have monitors that are down below their feet, so they're on an elevated platform, but they have a monitor that's isolated on their target face. So you won't see a lot of archers looking at binos because they can look right down at the monitor here in the finals. And that's something that doesn't happen often at home.
No, no. Well, it's excellent that you could do that here because each of these archers have 30 seconds to shoot, which does not give them time to look at their arrows in between ends. So it's nice to be able to glance down and take a quick look at that.
Boy, that 11 from Root could prove to be a very important arrow down the road.
Yeah.
Got another one. PJ is going to talk to our Root from Ohio.
Welcome to Lancaster Archery Classic stage.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Have you been here before?
No, it's my first time at the Classic.
First time at the Classic?
Yeah, first time ever here.
Coming into it, did you envision this moment right now?
I mean, I thought about it, but it was like, you know, I didn't know if I'd get there. Some good shooters in this class, so.
Some great shooters in this class. It's a big class as well. The competition's been getting better and better. Have you always shot bow hunter?
Yeah. I actually just got into competitive archery, really, in 2021, and I shoot the IBO hunter class, so.
Okay.
And I'm hoping to shoot the pro hunter class in IBO this year, so.
Being from Maine, I mean, what else are you going to do in the winter, right?
Yeah, basically.
Run through your gear for us, Nate. Tell us what you're shooting.
Yeah, I got the PSE Evo EVL 34. I got the Excel AccuTouch with the AccuStat 2. Run the Zebras light, the QAD TRI Rest. Widowmaker Stabilizers, that's a local guy out by us. He makes, if you're looking for bow hunter setup, he makes good stabilizers. And then Bowmar nose button and grip tape. And then True Ball Executive, you know, shout out to Chris Perkins.
Chris Perkins. What arrows you got there?
Oh, I got the gold tip triple X's with the TAC driver 375s.
All right, how you feeling? Nerves out?
Oh man, that's it. No, it's I'm wrecked right now, so hopefully we can hold it together.
All right, you seem to be holding it together pretty good though. Nate, you hold a 61-59 lead at the half.
And for Nate Root, his wife Lauren is here supporting him in his first trip. So not too bad of a drive though. Marietta, Ohio isn't too far away. We're shooting right now. Sorry, go ahead.
This one's really great for a lot of people on the East Coast because going all the way to Vegas can get expensive with the flights.
Oh,
but
yeah.
a lot of the league shooters around me, This is the one big one that they come to every year. It's just a great one to spend a weekend and hop up to. A little low there.
If you were wondering what Payson was doing at the end of his draw cycle, oftentimes when you shoot a release that's maybe a blade release, the arrow kind of comes off and you get back to full draw. All he does is just use his finger just to put it right back on the rest. See there? Right there. That move. It's almost rhythmic for a lot of shooters.
I'm sure he's done that a lot of times.
Yeah.
That's a 9. I beat 10. 11.
Ooh, nice. That's a close one, too.
It is close.
Good shot by Nate Root. So we are in our match to guarantee the winner of this will get a podium. But what place on the podium is yet to be decided. So whoever loses this match will be our 4th place finisher, and whoever wins will advance to shoot against our 2nd place qualifier after eliminations. That happened yesterday morning. The Bowhunter thing, it's absolutely, it's so interesting because without magnification, have you shot a Bowhunter setup before? I mean,
yes.
Okay,
yes.
So I don't, looking at Nate Root's setup, he's got a multiple pin setup. Would that distract you, do you think, at 20 yards? Or would you be focused on the, like, okay, 20 yards is green and I'm just focused on that one?
Well, I'm sure it would distract me right now, but Nate, he obviously knows what he's doing. I'm sure he shot a ton.
He has, yeah, and he mentioned that he's been in this class or been shooting Bowhunter, right, forever. So
yes,
like literally, if you said,
I think Nate said that this is his first year.
First year here,
yes,
and just got into competitive.
Yes,
but if he's been hunting forever, what much more would you, like? I'm wondering if you have your hunting set up, would you just come and compete? I mean, if you had a good 20-yard mark and you shoot it, not
whatever
complicate
works,
things.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Now you can, in this class, it is legal if you shoot a clarifier and you want a lens in your clarifier, which some people might need. It really depends if people shoot with contact lenses or glasses,
yes,
or that's when things get a little bit interesting. Because I met an archer online this weekend who shoots contact lens into a clarifier into a 4-power lens. So think about what you're doing. You're going lens to lens to lens. There's a lot of room for blurring and a lot of room for error, but she was making it work.
Well, I've actually, I wear contacts and I have a clarifier and a lens.
Wow.
But I shoot without my contacts in.
Right, to make it work.
If I don't, I can't see the dot.
Mm-hmm.
Just right.
Looks like he's just right at the 12 there.
Yeah, he called it, but.
Nine.
Interesting watching Nate Root's shot process.
Yeah, did you notice him glancing?
I did, yeah. And I was wondering, was he looking at the clock perhaps? Because it's on that side, or the monitor down below?
10.
Got that one. Bottom right.
Oh, he did it there too. I guess it's just part of his thing.
Nine.
Could be looking to make sure that the arrow's in spot.
Could be.
That's good shooting right out of the box. Both archers having to deal with nerves of being up on these platforms in front of this crowd that continues to grow as we get closer to 9 o'clock. Looks like it's going to be 120 to 118. Nate Root is going to advance. Payson Rienhardt will be credited with 4th place, but got a couple more arrows to value. So one thing about this class, Bowhunter, is we do see, you don't see dominant people year in and year out. We do see a lot of new faces that end up getting on, getting onto the stages here in the shoot-up finals.
Why do you think that might be?
I don't know. New talent rolling in?
Must be.
Right.
Well, a lot of these archers, me included, start off by wanting to hunt, and then they come in as bow hunters.
Yeah. And you have Payson, who's just confirmed his 4th. He shot a variety of different classes, and now looked like, he said Bowhunter looked like it was fun. So new to the class. So let's go back to PJ.
Our second seed from Jefferson Hills, Pennsylvania, Andy Hunnell, 2-time Classic Bowhunter champion in 2019 and 22. So Andy's up there twice. Let's give it up for Andy Hunnell.
If you watched last year, this guy can flat out shoot. And we were talking in the commentary last year about how oftentimes you see a kind of a younger shooter in this class.
Yes.
When you don't have a power lens and all that kind of stuff. But Andy's been shooting for, I think, 35 years, 38 years, somewhere around that neighborhood. He started shooting, with his dad and hunting, which is just such a common thread in archery. People that find competition after hunting. And like PJ mentioned, he's a 2019 and 2022 champ. So we are now into looking at 2 shooters, Andy Hunnell and Nate Root, that are guaranteed a podium spot. But the question is, what spot on that podium? We're up to 2nd place. We're looking at 2nd and 3rd.
Well, Andy coming in as a higher qualifier, he has the option to choose which platform he wants to shoot on. And if you notice, he made Nate move from one to the other. There's very few things in archery that you can do to give yourself a little bit of edge, but that's an excellent way to start. If that little bit of making,
especially if
change.
You watched the broadcast last night, there was definitely a distinction between the left target and the right target in terms of how they were hitting. So why not? If you have something you can do to influence another archer, why wouldn't you do it?
Yeah.
It's not like it's not football. It's not like when he's at full draw, you can go tackle him.
Also, being on that right platform, you don't have to look at the other archer. Maybe that's good, maybe that's bad, but
that's true.
It is a thing.
As we look at these setups in Bowhunter class, and you can see their stabilizers can't be longer than 12 inches. Eli, what stabilizer length do you shoot with in an open category, and why would stabilizer length affect? Like, what does it affect?
Well, I have a 30-inch bar on the front and a 15-inch bar on the back. And just having that weight out there makes it harder to shift it quickly. So with these guys, it's more of a challenge to hold it steadily, to point it at the middle.
Let's get to PJ.
Welcome back to the Classic Finals stage. How's it feel to be back up here again?
Same as last year. Pretty good, pretty good.
Nervous now? Or you're an old hat at this, 2-time champ?
It's still nervous-wracking. I mean, it's pretty tough up here.
How many times have you been on the final stage?
4.
4 total, okay. Well, talk about, as you being a longtime bowhunter competitor, how good is that competition getting out there? I'm imagining it's getting harder for you to get here.
Yeah, every year it's getting tougher and tougher. I mean, my competitor just shot a 33, so I mean, it's tough. In eliminations, I was watching some of those scores, and there was a lot of really, really good scores.
Definitely.
Anytime you shoot above a 128 in Bowhunter, you're getting it done. So
I remember times when 33s were really rare in Bowhunter. No more.
No, not.
Run through your gear for us, Andy. Tell us what you're shooting.
All right, so this is a Matthews TRX 38. I have dead center bars. I have a Spot Hog swap rest. Then I have the True Ball Achieve Excel sight. And then I have a Shrewd scope.
Wow, what release and arrows?
I'm shooting gold tip triple X's, and then I'm running an HBC, True Ball HBC.
Gotcha. All right, well, welcome back, Andy. Always great to see you up there. Right now, after one end, Nate shot that perfect end. We have a 33-32 advantage for Nate.
Pretty incredible to think you have short stabilizers. So what you're saying is that the bow reacts quicker to a little bit of inputs compared to an open class with long stabilizers. You don't have a lens. Shooting 33s. I was on a bail earlier this weekend with a guy in Bowhunter class, and I think he dropped probably at least half, at least 10 33s.
Really?
If not more. Yeah, it's just incredible to watch the level of this category now.
Well, and that's so impressive with these guys being up here in front of everyone and those nerves getting to you with only 12-inch stabilizers. It's amazing that they can shoot as well as they can. Not very happy with that one.
You can see on Nate Root's bow that there's a stabilizer that's down below, but there's also another hole that was up by his hand. Depending on the manufacturer, they'll give you a couple different options on where those bars can go. And so I think having that a little bit lower with a shorter stabilizer is going to help the stability as well. At least that's the feel that Nate Root has from his bow.
Yeah, it looks like it's working for him.
Most of the time I choose to use my stabilizer closer to my hand.
Yeah, I do as well.
But as you know, Eli Hughes, I mean, archery is the most individualistic sport. I've mentioned it many times. There are no two setups alike, no two ways of shooting, but yet we're all going for the exact same thing.
Sure. Well,
we just put it in the middle.
We just saw Tim Gillingham set up with 4 30-inch stabilizers, so to each their own.
So for Nate Root, PJ's talking to him right now, and he's talking about what Nate's actually having the conversation about what pin he's using, 10 thousandths pin, and he's talking about how much it covers up, how much it doesn't cover up, and what he's looking like when it's moving around. And that's really also, I mean, of all the things that we can do, when you get here, if you're in the bow hunter category, do you just use the same pin that you would use in the woods, or do you use something that's going to be more, oriented towards shooting paper?
Sure.
And that's where it gets a little bit interesting from that perspective. Especially because you come here in Vegas, you don't have a 12. You don't have a 1.5 centimeter 12 dot to take a risk on. If you block that whole target, you're just lost.
Well, and like what we were saying earlier, for people who shoot, even shooting with magnification, your dot will a lot of times cover up the entire 12.
Yeah.
And with these guys, with no magnification, I'd say even with the pens that they're shooting, they're not going to be able to see the 12 ring.
See the 12 ring. I know.
Yeah.
I mean, the only good thing is that because it's the contrast of white on red, it's easier even for old eyes like me. It's at least easier to identify generally where it is.
Okay.
But even without magnification, you're just like, okay, let's see. The rings are down here.
10.
What a great shot with the light reflecting off of Andy Hunnell's front stabilizer weight.
Yeah, that's very neat.
Gives you a good idea of the movement of his bow. What a great shot. A back tension or hinge release is what Andy Hunnell's using. So he's going to pull through the shot and rotate to get that release to fire.
10.
Both of these guys looks like they're making very smooth shots.
Mm-hmm.
That's close. I believe it's 11.
I believe that's it. Just like what we saw with the last time, Nathan has already had a chance to shoot around. So he's coming in this a little bit warm. He's ready to go, and he's leading a little bit.
Also, he's got a good idea, too, if he needs to make an adjustment, if he needed to, well, because in Bowhunter you can't adjust your sight. So if he's been making adjustments, he had that figured out a couple of ends ago.
Sure.
Oh, I thought you said you were. I was like, yeah.
Well, it's also a little bit difficult because whenever you're up there shooting, it's difficult to think of anything
same
but
thing.
putting your dot in the
shop
middle.
or club do you shoot out of back home?
So,
I'm originally from West Virginia, and
it's hard to make an
I shot
adjustment
out of the bow
sometimes.
shop for the longest time. Now that I moved up to Jefferson, I shoot out a bunch of different clubs. I shoot out Possum Hollow and Clareton Sportsman's Club, and then Falcon Archers. So just wherever whoever's putting on a shoot or got a lignite or quarters, we try to get
where you
together.
go.
Yeah.
All right. After 3 ends, Nate Root takes a 2-point lead, 94-92. Andy, I know you can hit that 12 ring. Just got to step on that button first.
BJ selling it again. I love it, man. It is absolutely great. Like, hey, I'm just saying it's free. Nate Root now, 233s. It's a tough round for Andy Hunnell. This go around, 2-point deficit. I think he'll probably do what we've seen before. Let the first 2 arrows play out and then make the decision whether he's got to jump on that button.
Yeah, it's a tough decision to make because whenever you go up there, you could really make a statement by popping on that 12, but you got to hit it. You got to hit it.
And we've only seen it hit once, and that hit, by the way, that happened yesterday was right on the edge.
Okay.
It wasn't like an inside out or even a half shaft.
10.
Ooh, that's a dagger right there. Okay, 12 is called. He's going for that 1.5 centimeter dot right down there on the 7-8 line. Will be our first to hit it today. Well, all he's got to do is just hit a point score here. That'll do it for Nate Root.
Great shooting, guys. Andy, thanks for making the try on that 12 ring. Andy's going to be our 3rd place finisher. He's going to take home $1,000, and Justin, $250 from bowhunting.com. Andy Hunnell. So we're bringing up, before we bring out our next archer, we're going to bring up Justin Czar from bowhunting.com. They have a Bowhunter TV show, longtime sponsor of the Bowhunter Division. Justin, we appreciate you. Why do you guys support our Bowhunter Division?
Oh, why wouldn't we, man? This is awesome. We started working with Lancaster Archery, I don't even remember, maybe 6 years ago, something like that. And it's been great. This has been eye-opening for us through the years, right? As bow hunters, we're always looking for something to replicate that feeling of that pressure that you get into when you're shooting an animal, and there's nothing that compares other than this, right? And I know the nerves that I feel when I'm out in eliminations and nobody's even watching me. And I know nobody's watching me, but I'm still nervous. I don't know how these guys do it up here when they know everybody's actually watching them. It's impressive.
So, Justin, we have to call out Todd Graff, your partner in crime there. What do you got to say for Todd for not coming down here and shooting this weekend?
Todd gets nervous just thinking about coming here. He is not a target archer by any means, so I don't blame him. He didn't want to get beat by me again. That's embarrassing enough as it is. I do want to say, so Brad Kaufman's with me this year,
yes.
And Brad and I both shot. We didn't do great by the good people standards, but we did good for us, and we actually looked it up. We beat 2 guys in the men's open pro division. So
right.
Brad and I might be going pro next year. You never know.
All right, Justin, I'm going to have you pick. You heard the explanation of what we got here.
Yeah, this is just a clever way for you guys to sell more arrows. We're all on to you guys.
So go ahead and pick one out there.
What if I pick myself, PJ?
You're in there?
No, I'm not. All right, are we ready?
We're ready.
I always have to do this in our show where we announce names, and I always mispronounce them. I'm not quite as bad as Todd, but I'm going to say Marcus Deal.
Marcus Deal.
And he drew a little something on there, so.
We've got his number
Marcus,
on
looks
there.
like he's gonna have a good time.
I will keep that. Marcus Deal, we will call you to come shoot with us at our Steel Target Challenge. Justin, if you hang up here. Actually, why don't you bring out our first place qualifier? Right there.
First place qualifier is gonna be from Greene County, Indiana, LaWayne Yoder. Come on out, LaWayne.
Thanks, Steve.
Am I free to go now?
You are.
That was smooth as silk. I like that one.
That was great.
And oh, by the way, he mentioned that he shot better than 2 men's open pro categories. So that's only 126 people in the men's open pro that were better than him.
Yeah, only 126.
Yeah. By the way, in the Bowhunter class, we're down to the final 2. 174 competitors came out and shot in Bowhunter this year. And now we're down to our final 2. This is for the championship. LaWayne Yoder out of Switz City, Indiana, was our top qualifier, #1 seed after qualifications and eliminations. Now, because this class was so big, they had a variety of eliminations, 3 elimination categories. So when you add up all the points from qualification and eliminations, there was a total point value of 1,056 available. LaWayne Yoder shot 1,021.
My goodness.
In the Bowhunter class, and over the course of the weekend has shot 66 11s, which tied what Andy Hunnell had done. But right now, you talked about it, Eli Hughes. This guy is in a rhythm. It's his 3rd match up here. He's been moved off of his spot, back onto his original spot. He's trying to get dialed in again.
That was an interesting point that Justin made earlier, is that a lot of people in the Bowhunter class are here to be better at bowhunting. It's one thing to shoot 1 arrow whenever you're nervous, but it's another thing to be able to do it for 60.
I hear when you're in a tree stand and a deer walks by, the adrenaline starts ripping through your veins.
Sure does.
So we'll see how quickly Yoder can get settled down on the main stage. Starting to find the smaller rings.
11.
But on the other hand, Nate Root.
He's really in a rhythm right now.
Yeah.
LaWayne, you found it there at the end. Welcome to the Lancaster Archery Classic final stage. Is this your first time up here?
This is my first time here.
At the Classic, first time.
Classic.
You wanted to perfect your game for those giant deer you got in Indiana, didn't you?
I guess, but I don't hunt.
You don't hunt?
No.
You just shoot Bowhunter class?
Well, I just got into competition archery several years ago.
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about your gear.
Shooting the Elite Verdict with RevX bars, the Excel sight, CB rest, gold tip triple X's, and Scott Ascent release.
Scott Ascent release. Another ETAC light as well, Bowhunter Division.
Yep.
You guys like that light too.
Yep. And ABB strings.
ABB strings, all right, great. LaWayne Yoder, welcome to the stage. Right now we have Nate Root 31, LaWayne 27.
Now initially, LaWayne started out hunting, but obviously he doesn't anymore. And you know what keeps him motivated in the sport is this occasional win, and he just loves shooting his bow. And I think that that's really what motivates a lot of people.
I agree. Especially the people who are going to be up here. Everyone here is going to take it very seriously. It's a lot of fun too.
See if Yoder can get those nerves to calm down just a little bit. All right. LaWayne's got a really good shot too.
Yes, he does.
11.
But here comes Nate Root. Yoder's got to start dropping some 11s here, or it's going to get away from him quickly.
11.
There we go.
10.
Another chance for Root to grab another point. That'll be a call. That'll look good to me, though.
Yeah. Well, like what we were saying before, most of these guys are shooting 26 or 27 inch arrows, or not inch.
Diameter,
diameter,
yeah.
yes. Which means that with 27s, the arrow can be just barely outside of the 10 ring while still touching the 11 ring.
Yeah, so you're saying if you look at the distance, the space between the outside of the inner ring and the actual ring of the 10 ring, what we call a 10 ring, that the 27 arrow is big enough, just big enough, where you can still contact both lines and be in the 11.
Just barely.
Okay,
yes.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Which matters whenever you have a shot like that where there's another arrow hole obstructing where the line used to be.
And if you're thinking about coming to Lancaster Archery Classic when we shoot elimination rounds, you know, you can have, because we shoot 60 arrows and you only have to change the target one time, it is really up to a judge. If there's an arrow call like that, the judge will tell you replace your target.
Yes.
And, you know, they have the same discretion here. If they wanted to, they could change the target, the judge, and say, hey, this arrow, this line call is getting too difficult for me. Just put a fresh face up there.
Well, and both these guys are hitting it very well. I'm sure by the end of their, halfway through one of their qualification rounds, it's the target's looking a little tired.
Yeah, for sure.
10.
Another point advantage for Nate Root.
11.
That was a really clean looking shot.
Mm-hmm. You didn't like that one.
Had a little bobble there just before.
Yeah. Strong shooter, right? He just looks like so confident. It's Yoder when he's getting back in there, getting ready to release that shot.
Looks like he's really starting to find his flow.
Mm-hmm.
9.
Just like that, we got a bit of a point swing. And officially, it's now, the gap is only 3.
Yes.
Going into that final end.
It's not over till it's over.
Mm-mm.
And there's that 12 ring.
And by the way, that was the difference from Nate Root to Yoder's 3. So if we see a similar looking end, we could be all tied up and go to our first tiebreaker of the day.
What's your place of shooting?
I shoot at Shooter's Archery in Linton, Indiana.
Is there a good target community there?
Yes.
Yeah. Mainly indoor, 3D? What's the preference?
Indoor.
Indoor, gotcha. Is that your favorite game?
Yes.
Why do you like it?
Because I like spots I can see.
Like spots you can see. There you go. All right. After 3 ends, we have Nate Root 92, LaWayne 89. LaWayne, you got that 12 ring right in front of you there. 12 buttons, excuse me, the red button there.
And the rings in front of him too, but I like what LaWayne said. I mean, when you're old like me, shooting 3D, get into the woods, you have a Black Panther in the shade. I don't know what I'm shooting at.
Yeah.
I can't see it, man. I like bright yellow, red, and blue spots.
I'm not gonna miss that.
10.
Well, he's shooting 3D, and then I feel like I make a great shot, and it's an 8.
That's pretty weird. Yeah, that's a skill all on its own.
11.
The only thing affecting you here is you.
True, very true. That was big first arrow for both.
11.
It's a great shot.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see if Yoder chooses to hit the 12 button.
You better. There it is.
There it is.
Of course. Just below it. Had to take that risk, though. And now it's cruising for the championship. Bridge shots. From third to first goes Nate Root, the pride of Marietta, Ohio.
You are going to be our second place finisher at the 2023 Lancaster Archery Classic.
$1,500 for LaWayne Yoder.
That's excellent.
Plus an extra $500. So.
This is really becoming a big category.
Yeah.
First place payout of $3,000 from us, plus $750 from Bowhunter Die, Nate Root. '23 Lancaster Archery Classic champion. How does that feel?
It's pretty surreal. I mean, I just was trying to even make it to the stage, man, but to win it all, I mean, it's pretty incredible. And that's what I seeded 17th in the qualification. So if you make qualification, you got a chance, man. So
that's one of the unique things about our format. All you got to do is survive in advance. Same as here.
That's right.
Next year, you'll be hanging up there on that banner. What do you think about that?
That's pretty incredible. I mean, I never would have thought, but
all right, Nate.
Awesome.
Well, congratulations, 2023 Bowhunter champion.
All right, thank you.
And that is the story of the Lancaster Archery Classic. 17th qualifier comes in, gives himself an opportunity, capitalizes on it, and he'll be on the banner next year. Pretty incredible bowhunter category here at the 2023 Lancaster Archery Classic. Good to see third place advance for the victory. Well, my thanks to Eli Hughes for joining me in the booth. We have more shoot-up finals coming your way as we kick off. The top recurve shooters are here to compete. Stay with us.